Brain doctor shocked. These healthy snacks may spike your stroke risk overnight. They're labeled as light, low fat, or even heart smart. But new research reveals certain snacks, especially ones eaten after dinner, could quietly trigger biological changes that make stroke damage worse overnight. In this video, I'll break down 3 popular, healthy snacks that raise risk while you sleep, and show you what to eat instead to protect your brain, circulation, and energy after 60. After 60, even your evening snack can shape your next morning's brain health. Your metabolism slows, your arteries stiffen, your insulin works harder, and what used to be a harmless granola bar might now be spiking your risk for stroke damage while you sleep. In this video, we'll unpack the science, and I'll share 3 simple swaps that can help protect your brain overnight. This content is educational. Always consult your doctor before making health changes. 1. The hidden danger in flavored yogurt. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a small bowl of yogurt after dinner, thinking it was a smart, light choice? You're not alone. But here's the problem. Many flavored yogurts, even ones marked as digestive or low fat, contain more sugar than a scoop of ice cream. And after 60, your brain and blood vessels can no longer afford that mistake. You see, when you eat a sugar-loaded snack late at night, your blood glucose can spike past 180 milligrams per deciliter, sometimes without you feeling a thing. But your brain does. A 2024 study in Curious tracked stroke patients overnight. It found that seniors with high glucose between 11 p.m. and 10 a.m. had significantly larger stroke lesions, worse damage, than those with stable levels. Why? Because your arteries after 60 are already more fragile. The extra sugar inflames vessel walls, stiffens the endothelium, and worsens circulation to the brain while you sleep. It's like pouring syrup through a straw that's already bent. And even if the yogurt doesn't have added sugar, it might use sucralose or erythritol, sweeteners that trick your taste buds but still raise insulin and platelet stickiness. I think of insulin like a janitor. He's trying to mop up sugar spills. But when those spills happen every night, he's overworked, sloppy, and your brain pays the price. Helen, 69, thought her digestive yogurt was helping her gut. She had it every night before bed, until her blood pressure started spiking at 2 a.m. When we look closer, her healthy yogurt had 18 grams of sugar per serving. She switched to plain Greek yogurt with cinnamon before 7 p.m. And within 2 weeks, her sleep normalized, her fog lifted. Sometimes it's not what you add, it's what you stop repeating. 2. Protein bars, stroke risk, hiding in a wrapper. Now, let's talk about something that might be sitting in your pantry right now. Protein bars. They seem like a smart choice. Low fat, high protein, convenient. But here's where it gets dangerous, especially if you eat them after 6 p.m. Most commercial bars are loaded with erythritol, sucralose, or maltitol, sweeteners meant to help your blood sugar. But the science says otherwise. In 2023, researchers at Nature Medicine published a shocking finding. Seniors with the highest levels of erythritol in their blood had an 80 to 121% increased risk of major cardiovascular events, including clot-related strokes. That's not a small uptick. That's a doubling of risk, silently from something labeled as healthy. So what's happening? Erythritol doesn't just sweeten, it increases platelet activity, which means your blood becomes more prone to clotting. Think of it like sand thrown into the gears of your bloodstream. Everything slows, thickens, and starts to jam. Now, combine that with what happens overnight. If you eat one of these bars late in the evening, your blood sugar stays elevated longer than your body wants. This triggers a cortisol spike, the stress hormone. I tell my patients, it's like revving your engine at redline while trying to sleep. That's what happened with Frank, 72. He started having one healthy protein bar every night. But over time, His morning headaches got worse. He felt dizzy standing up. And one morning, he collapsed in the kitchen, a minor stroke. Doctors ruled out most common causes until they found elevated platelet activity and erythritol in his panel. Frank made a simple swap, a handful of almonds or a hard-boiled egg after dinner. No more bars, and within weeks, his energy returned, his headaches eased, his glucose stabilized. Sometimes the danger isn't in what you skip, it's in what you trust too much. The next one, almost no one talks about it. 3. Healthy. Snacks equals safe snacks. Let's pause for a moment and challenge something we've all believed, that if a snack says low fat, light, or high protein, it must be good for you. But what most people don't realize is that many healthy snacks are engineered to sound clean, while silently triggering the very systems that worsen stroke risk after 60. In fact, a large-scale 2019 study from the Women's Health Initiative followed over 81,000 women. They found that those who drank just 2 diet drinks per day had a 31% higher risk of ischemic stroke, even though they had 0 sugar. Why? Because our bodies don't just react to calories. They react to signals, chemical ones. Artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame don't contain glucose, but they still activate insulin, confuse the gut microbiome, and increase platelet stickiness, a perfect storm for seniors. It's like giving your body a false alarm, over and over, until the alarm system just breaks. That's what happened to Carol, 66. She started replacing meals with light protein bars and diet yogurt. Her goal, lose weight, feel energized. But within 2 months, she noticed something else. Her thinking slowed down, her balance felt off, and her sleep, which had been steady, became fragmented and restless. Her doctor ran a panel and found elevated fasting glucose and triglycerides, the likely culprit. Hidden sweeteners in her low-carb snacks. Carol made one decision: no more packaged bars. She switched to real food, boiled eggs, berries, plain yogurt with cinnamon. Within 3 weeks, her energy returned. The fog lifted. She felt like herself again. So, here's my invitation to you. Look past the label, because what's printed on the front is often marketing, but what's happening inside your blood vessels is biology. For many seniors, this is when the fog starts to lift. 4. Dried fruit, the sweetest threat after dark. Let's finish with a snack that feels the most natural, and yet may carry the biggest hidden danger of all. Dried fruit, raisins, dates, apricots. We think of them as nature's candy. And, in a way, they are. But for seniors, especially after 8 p.m., dried fruit becomes a metabolic minefield. Here's why. Unlike fresh fruit, dried fruit removes nearly all the water and concentrates the sugar. That means a handful of dried figs can contain more fructose than a full can of soda. And after 60, fructose doesn't just give you a sugar spike. It turns into triglycerides, promotes gut inflammation, and worsens morning vascular stiffness, all of which increase stroke risk. In a 2018 clinical review from Journal of Clinical Neurology, researchers confirmed that high evening sugar intake, particularly fructose, correlates with larger infarct size after stroke in seniors. Think of dried fruit like a sponge that's been wrung out, until what's left is almost pure syrup. Marie, 74, found this out the hard way. She had switched from cookies to dates, thinking it was a clean choice. Every evening after dinner, she'd graze on 4 or 5 of them. It wasn't until she had a sudden vision blur and arm numbness one morning that her doctor found elevated triglycerides and nocturnal hyperglycemia. Now, she still snacks, but she does it before 8 p.m., and she reaches for cucumber slices, avocado, or even a spoonful of plain ricotta with cinnamon. It's not about fear, it's about timing, and choosing snacks that work with your body, not against it. The real risk starts after this moment. Your brain is one of the most delicate organs you have, and after 60, it becomes even more sensitive to sugar, to timing, to inflammation that you may not even feel. But here's the good news. You don't need to give up your evening routine. You just need to be wiser about what you trust and when you eat it. Because the truth is, stroke risk doesn't just build over years. It can spike overnight, quietly, from one small habit repeated too often. Helen changed her yogurt. Frank let go of the bars. Marie stopped eating dates after dark. Small shifts, but life-changing ones. So, I invite you to take a look at your pantry tonight. What one snack could you swap to give your brain more peace while you sleep? And of course, always speak with your doctor before making changes to your diet or routine. If this video gave you something to think about, share it with a friend or loved one who snacks late at night. Your share could prevent the next emergency. And tell me in the comments, what's your go-to evening snack? You might inspire someone else here. And if you want more calm, trusted health tips like this, tap subscribe, and let's age wisely together.